Hello friends, today's question: a block of ice at minus 10 degrees centigrade is slowly heated and converted to steam at 100 degrees centigrade. Which of the following curves represent the phenomena qualitatively? So we have these four graphs between the temperature and the heat supplied. So these graphs are nothing but the representation of how the transformation of ice takes place into the boiling water that is at 100 degrees centigrade. But herein the initial temperature of the ice is given as minus 10 degree centigrade. So we start from here only. We say at from 10 minus 10 to 0 degree centigrade, from minus 10 to 0 degree centigrade, whatever heat we are going to supply is going to raise the temperature of the ice. We can say that the temperature rises as the heat is supplied to raise the temperature of the ice. As the heat is supplied to raise the temperature of the ice. So we can just write the formula for that. No doubt it's not required, but still we can write it. We can say the heat required follow the equation. The heat required follows, and the equation is given as Q is equal to mc multiplied by delta T, where this C is the specific heat of the ice. Specific heat of ice. So under this condition, the slope of the graph is positive. So we can say there is a positive slope of graph. So this is the first point. Second point is at 0 degree centigrade. At 0 degree centigrade, the ice actually starts to melt into the water. The ice starts to melt into the water. And under this condition, whatever heat we supply, that entire heat is converted into, or we can say rather used, for ice to melt. But the temperature of the ice, or that mixture of ice and water, is always 0 degree centigrade. So we can say during this phase, temperature remain constant. Temperature remains constant at 0 degree centigrade because all heat supplied all heat supplied is used to break the bonds and convert the solid ice into liquid water. Supplied is used to break the bonds and convert solid ice into liquid water. And in this case, the heat required is given as Q is equal to M multiplied by LF, where LF is our latent heat of fusion. You can say the heat required is Q is equal to M LF, where this LF is our latent heat of fusion. LF is latent heat of fusion. And under this condition, we can say we have a horizontal line of graph, because the temperature is constant. Horizontal line. Next is from 0 to 100 degrees centigrade. From 0 to 100 degrees centigrade, the water starts to heat. So you can say the water starts to heat. The water starts to heat, and we continuously supply the heat which is given by the equation, or we can say the water starts to heat, that is temperature rises steadily. Temperature rises steadily so under this condition we can write the heat supplied is given as Q is equal to MC multiplied by T. Now in this case, C is the specific heat of the water. C is the specific heat of water. And once again, the slope is a positive slope graph. We have a positive slope graph. And I think there are only 3 parts, or one more is left. Yeah, one more is there, last part, that is above 100 degrees centigrade. So we can say beyond 100 degrees centigrade, at 100 degrees centigrade, the water actually starts to boil. The water starts to boil. And converts to steam. Once again, the entire heat which we are supplying is used for the water to be converted into the steam. Therefore, the temperature remains constant. So you can say temperature remains constant at 100 degrees centigrade, and once again the heat supplied, heat required, is given as Q, and we have L m multiplied by L V, where this LV is the latent heat of vaporization. LV is latent heat of vaporization. And once again we get a graph which is having a slope of, you can say horizontal, there is no slope. Okay, so we get horizontal line. So if we check the graph which we get, is B is not an option because it is a negative slope graph entirely. C is also not option because there is some delay when the heat is supplied and temperature rises. And you can say D is also not an option because in this portion it has to be a horizontal slope. So option number D is the correct one. You can say option A is correct. Option A is correct. So this completes the question. Thank you.